Hey milks and honeys, thanks for joining us in another The Tube adventure, and that's what's on tonight. Bill Gates answers everything. Flappy Bird is refusing to stop flapping. Yet another Israeli app might be on its way to a big exit. Amazon is pulling its big guns, a super geeky social watch, and more. But let's start with some NSA. Happy the day we fight back, everybody. What is the day we fight back? Well, it's basically over 5,700 websites protesting against National Security Agency surveillance today. They are doing it by hosting banners on their homepages, urging internet users to call and email members of Congress and ask them to vote against proposed NSA reforms that the American Civil Liberties Union has labeled bad for privacy. As part of the event, activists have projected a huge eye and some ominous messages on the Verizon building in New York. That's what you're watching now on screen. The event comes 2 years after 8,000 websites went black to protest proposed bills that would have given the government free rein to remove websites for violating copyrights. The campaign was a huge success back then, and the protesters are hoping for the same result today. So, good luck with that. Okay, have you ever heard of Viber? Viber is a popular little app that does to voice calls what WhatsApp did to SMS, meaning letting people call each other using their internet connection based on their phone contact list. Now the Israeli-based company is looking for sale. With more than 300 million users worldwide, no debt to venture capital firms, and a steady financial growth, Viber seems like an attractive purchase for many potential tech buyers. Viber is now in talks with a big Chinese buyer for a deal that could be worth around $300 to $400 million. Viber has a large user base in Asia with 67 million users, although the negotiations are said to be proceeding at a slow pace. So is another Israeli startup about to strike gold? With us on the phone is Asaf Gilad, who broke the story for Calcalist daily newspaper here in Israel. Hello, Asaf.
Hi, Jason.
Hi. Well, it sounds like a good deal for Viber founders. But is it also the end for the app itself?
Well, nobody knows what's going to happen with the app itself. It's a very interesting question because it really depends who is going to buy it. Generally, applications that are being bought are not being canceled. Take, for instance, Instagram, which was bought by Facebook, and Facebook kept its original construction and app. So, I think we presume that if an Asian software company like WeChat, the Chinese WeChat, or Japanese Line are going to buy it, I guess they're going to preserve it and just, increase their user base.
Yeah, but sometimes buyers buy to swallow the bot technology.
Well, yeah, you're completely sure. That scenario can happen. Nobody really knows what's going to happen with the app because no one knows finally who is going to be the buyer. But for sure, we know that Viber is seeking for a buyer, and let him to do what he knows to do best.
Yeah, well, so let's talk about communication apps. Did Viber give a good fight to the other communication apps, the popular ones?
Yeah, I think so. Viber has a user base of 200 monthly user base, which is relatively large. Take for comparison WhatsApp with 400 million, or WeChat Chinese with 350. So Viber is a very large-scale user-based chat app, and it's really differentiated with a Skype-like software that you can install in your computer and make calls to other mobile phones, which are not only Viber subscribers. So you can say that Viber is rather more elaborate, more complicated, more technology-based chat app, which is really differentiated by by its characteristic relative to other apps like WhatsApp or.
Let's talk about the characteristics. What is its best feature?
Well, I think it's really inclusive. Sorry, you have text and you have voice, and you have a video chat, and you have a desktop app, and you have a mobile app, and you have a very elaborate and rich library of emoticons and stickers, which you can also buy if you want to buy some very special one, if you want to wish your friend a special birthday, happy birthday, so you can just buy a $2 sticker. So all these, all those products were launched by Viber only last year, which is a really achievement. Viber did prove itself to be a strong technology player in the recent year. It's something that they didn't do before, and they did increase their user base in Asia. What actually made them to be a great target for acquisition by an Asian player.
When WhatsApp started, WhatsApp changed the world of text messaging in such a way that text messaging is now almost totally an online thing, yet it didn't happen to phone calls. Do you think that's the future?
Well, that's a hard question, because I think that the WhatsApp users are also doing phone calls. But yeah,
no, I'm talking about text messages. I mean, also the whole world of texting is now an online thing. Nobody pays for text messages anymore if you have a smartphone.
Yeah, sure. I mean, operators see it all over the world for years. The text messages, the SMS, the income is decreasing so much. And yeah, you have those OTT, those over-the-top services that WhatsApp is just an example. And yeah, of course, I think you see actually that's a thing that actually makes Facebook worry very much, because many of the users say, "Hey, I just need an app to communicate with people. I don't need to read my Facebook feed," and therefore they're actually retiring from Facebook. They're leaving Facebook for those apps like WhatsApp. This is WhatsApp, and those chat apps are actually, I think, the hottest software that you can think about those days. Snapchat is actually one use case, one private case of this industry, and you see how it grows and how much money is it. Snapchat is valued by $3 or $4 billion. Has only 40-50 million users. It's a lot.
Viber exists for 4 years or so. Is it another case of a relatively quick exit like we got used to from Israeli startups?
Yeah, of course, sure. This is another case of a short-term existence for an Israeli startup. It's a small startup that raised only $20 or $30 million and employing 120, 130 people. It does launch a great product, but in order to maintain and to finance all these operations and to keep producing great products and apps, you should raise a lot of money. And Viber, like actually I think almost any other Israeli startup, has some difficulties raising money. And I think that they launched this process of financing, and maybe in this process they found a buyer. That's probably the case. So yes, once you seek for a financer, you can find a buyer. And that can be, of course, the end of your company.
Well, I wish them all of the luck in the world, and thank you very much for talking to us this evening. Okay, Bill Gates now. Bill Gates is still working hard on his transformation to being, well, cool. Now he did a Reddit Ask Me Anything session, the pillar stone of web celebrity coolness. This is how he promoted his massive chat.
People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end. People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a one-boy, cuddly toy, my up, my down, my pride and joy. People, let me tell you about him. It's so much fun, whether we're walking man to man or whether we're walking sun to sun, 'cause he's my best friend. Yeah, he's my best friend. La la, ba da 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 ya, ba da ba da da ya, ba da ba da da ya.
Cute. Okay, fresh from helping choose the next CEO to run the company he co-founded nearly 4 decades ago, Gates descended from his mountaintop to mix it up with the new media masses. He talked about the Bitcoin, his new role in Microsoft, the Surface 2, Windows, and the fact that he washes the dishes at his house every night. He said he likes the way he's doing the dishes. When asked directly what his new role at Microsoft will entail, Gates elaborated on what he sees coming up in technology, noting that Nadella specifically asked him to help out. Adorable. Okay. One of the great smartphone soap operas of our time reached a bizarre climax over the weekend when Vietnamese developer Dong Nguyen removed and shut down Flappy Bird, the world's most popular free app. Two of Dong's friends told Reuters that he had received a warning letter from Nintendo. The pipes in Flappy Bird and other art appears to be lifted without any modification from the company's Super Mario games. Nintendo refused to confirm or comment on the letter to Reuters. In an interview with Forbes, Nguyen said he killed his game because it was too distracting. It happened to become an addictive product, explained Nguyen, who initially intended the game to be relaxing. The notoriously difficult game rose to fame, with users pointing out just how frustrating it is to navigate Mario-style pipes with a pixelated bird. They even wrote a song about it.
Flappy Bird, Flappy, Flappy Bird, Flappy Bird, goddammit. Flappy Bird, Flappy, Flappy Bird, Flappy Bird, goddammit. It's frustrating, it's covered in ads. There's Mario pipes, the background never changes. You might think that this makes it bad, but it's so compelling, it's kind of outrageous. The game was made by Dong Nguyen. He's not comfortable with the spotlight, so let's just marvel at the pain and the joy.
Ooh, aren't we glad that's over? Good thing we got our lives back, thank you. Okay, last year Amazon Studios joined the original contest game with its first 2 series, the comedies Betas and Alpha House. No connection between the two. Both programs received generally favorable reviews, but they didn't exactly, well, turn into cultural phenomena. This year, that might change. Amazon is back with a slate of 10 new pilots using the same crowdsourced process as before. Amazon Prime customers can stream the episodes for free, weigh in with their opinions, and help determine which will become a full season series. There's even a pilot from X-Files mastermind Chris Carter, and a series starring Gael García Bernal and written by Roman Coppola and Jason Schwartzman. Amazon is pulling out the big guns, hoping to achieve a Netflix kind of buzz. Us couch potatoes are wishing success to all sides. And now we have a super geeky social watch today, and we start with a new fan fiction show that continues the journey of the original Star Trek series with all your favorite characters. The whole thing is really good, but sadly for you space geeks, we have time for just a little taste.
I'd like you to take a look at this gun. It's handcrafted to my specifications. Balance is excellent. The trigger responds to a pressure of 1 ounce.
I'm quite familiar with the piece. Perhaps we could talk about this?
I rarely draw it unless I mean to use it. Care for a demonstration?
Freeze program. Was she everything I promised, sir?
And more. I've never seen a holographic program this detailed before. I swear I could almost smell the gun oil.
Well, she's still in the experimental stage, but once we get the bugs out...
Bridge to Captain Kirk.
Kirk here.
We've arrived at the first of the power stations that have gone offline, Captain.
I'll be right there. All right, playtime's over. Let's get back to work.
You should seriously watch the whole thing online, and may the Force be with you. Speaking of the Force, it turns out Facebook's Decades festivities have reached the furthest regions of the galaxy, attracting the attention of our best pal on the dark side. Watch it and tremble with awe. And that's it. Enough is enough is enough is enough. But if you want more, we have our Twitter and our Tumblr. It's TheTube24, of course, and we will be here tomorrow. Until then, always remember, gravitation is not responsible for people falling in love. That's Albert Einstein. He said that. Bye, 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 bye.